Hello, welcome to Quebec City, the capital of the province of Quebec. It's home to about 800,000 people in the greater Quebec City area, and 95% of that population is French-speaking. There's always something happening in the city. In the winter, you may have heard of Carnival. It's a popular wintertime carnival hosted by Bono. Quebec is also home to the world-famous Hotel de Glace. This is the only place you can spend a night in an ice hotel in North America. If winter isn't your thing, don't worry, there's still tons to see and do. From its famous summer festivals and concerts on the Plains of Abraham to simply exploring and enjoying this very walkable city. Currently, we are standing across the river in a town called Vieille. From here, there's a great view of Quebec and the very popular Chateau de Frontenac. Here you can also see that Quebec is built on a cliff. It has an upper town and a lower town. These are connected by nearly 30 sets of stairs. Are you ready to see and learn more about Quebec? Let's go! The word Quebec comes from the Algonquin word Quebec, meaning place where the river narrows. As you can see, the St. Lawrence River narrows near Quebec. The history of Quebec goes back thousands of years to when Indigenous people were first living here. The first European to set sail up the St. Lawrence River was Jacques Cartier in 1535. When he arrived, there was an Iroquois village in the area by the name of Stadacona. Cartier spent the winter on the banks of the river and lost 25 of his men due to scurvy. This is a disease caused by deficiency in vitamin C. Luckily, he didn't lose all of his crew, thanks to a herbal tea made by the First Nations of Stadacona. By the time Samuel de Champlain arrived on July 3rd in 1608, the village of Stadacona was gone. Samuel de Champlain arrived to set up a permanent settlement and to establish the fur trade. He is the founder of Quebec. He chose this location because it's strategically a great place due to the river narrowing and to the natural defense provided by the cliff. Ready to go check out Quebec City now? Here we are in front of Quebec's Parliament building. This building is called the National Assembly and it was constructed in 1877. This is where Quebec's 125 elected representatives debate questions of public interest. To the people of Quebec, this building is a pantheon honor of Quebec's history. If you look really closely, you can see some of the monuments in front of the building. In front of the National Assembly is the Fontaine de Terny. It was a gift from Simon's department store to the city of Quebec for its 400th anniversary. Simon's department store got its start in Old Quebec in 1840, and it's still an important retailer to this day. The fountain was originally created in 1855 for the Paris World Fair, and it even won a gold medal. Peter Simon, you guessed it, of Simon's department store, found the fountain in a flea market in France in 2003. At the time, he wanted to give the city of Quebec a gift for its constant support of his family's fashion retail business. He bought it, shipped it to Quebec, restored it, and installed it right here. I suggest, if you ever have a chance to come to Quebec City, to check it out in the evening. It's really pretty with all the lights. Did you know that Quebec City is the UNESCO World Heritage Site? It received this designation on account of its heritage site of Old Quebec. It's the only walled city north of Mexico. This is what makes it so special. The original fortifications were created in 1620. The British then refortified the existing walls after they took Quebec City from the French during the Battle of the Plains of Abraham in 1759. We'll get back to that battle a little later. By Confederation, the walls had no more defensive purpose. Many people in the community wanted to tear them down to make room for expanding buildings and widening streets, and they wanted to get rid of the gates that hindered cars from passing in and out of the city. Luckily, one man had a vision to save the walls. He was Governor General Lord Dufferin. He convinced the community that losing the walls would do more harm than good, and that they added character. Luckily, everyone listened to Lord Dufferin, and the walls are still intact to this day. If you come to Quebec City, you're likely going to pass through one of these gates on your way to Old Quebec. You'll notice that they used to be narrower, but have now been widened to allow for modern-day cars and buses to pass through. Here we are on the Dufferin Terrace. Yep, you guessed it, named after Lord Dufferin, the man who saved the wall. This boardwalk offers great views of the town of Vieille where we started our tour, the St. Lawrence River, and Lower Town. This boardwalk is normally filled with people and street performers at this time of the year. In the winter, there's even a toboggan slide. You can see the end of the slide right here. Now, does this building behind me look familiar? We did see it earlier on our tour. It's the Chateau Frontenac Hotel, originally built in 1893. The architecture was inspired by fairy tale-like chateaus that dot France's Loire Valley. It was named after one of the French governors of Quebec, Louis de Bord, Comte de Frontenac. Now we are standing in front of the monument of the founder of Quebec. Do you remember his name from earlier? Samuel de Champlain wasn't just the founder of Quebec. He was a geographer, an explorer, and a draftsman. It is estimated that he covered 3,500 kilometers of coastline while exploring New France and into the Great Lakes interior. Most statues of explorers face out towards the ocean to symbolize their adventurous nature. Samuel de Champlain's statue faces inland, looking onto the city of Quebec. Look down at the black stone pattern inlaid into the cobblestone. This outline marks the place where the first l'habitation was located. This was the first permanent building in Quebec, built by Champlain in 1608. The place that we're standing in right now is called Place Royale. This used to be the town square. There was a marketplace here where people from the country would bring their vegetables and fruits, their clay jugs of honey, and their pots of maple syrup to sell. This is where the population assembled when the governor passed new laws and the king issued new decrees. This was also the place where punishment was handed out. As you look around the square, you can see the beautiful architecture of these buildings. Here we are just across from Town Square. This mural was painted in 2000 to beautify the city. It's a fun place to stop and look due to its 3D effect. The mural illustrates 400 years of Quebec history. In the mural, there are some key people of Quebec's history, and there are some fun things that contribute to the city, such as kids playing hockey, canoe paddles, and barrels of maple syrup. In the mural, you can see Upper and Lower Town. You can see a wall, a gate, and the Four Seasons. To the left of the mural is a church. It's called Notre Dame de Victoire, Our Lady of Victories. Here we are on Rue Sous-le-Porte in Lower Town, just about a 20-second walk from Place Royale. Stairs and roads are not the only way to get from Lower Town to Upper Town. There's also the funicular. It's a cable railroad in which ascending and descending cars are counterbalanced, and it climbs at a 45-degree angle. Something to note, if you want to take the funicular, it'll cost you $3.75 one way. Or you can always challenge yourself to the stairs for free. Here we are on the Plains of Abraham. From here, there's a great view of many things we've already talked about today. The Chateau of Frontenac, the cliffs that Quebec is on, and the St. Lawrence River. This is the place where the Battle of the Plains of Abraham took place on September 13th in 1759. I won't go into too many details about the battle, but it was a very pivotal moment between the British and the French during the 7-Year War. British General Wolfe defeated French General Montcalm. After the battle, the French surrendered Quebec to the British. Unfortunately, both generals did die as a result of the battle. Want to know something interesting? The battle lasted less than 30 minutes, but it had a huge impact on the history of Canada. Here we are at our last stop today. Located just 15 minutes from the city center are these beautiful falls. The Montmorency Falls, although narrower, are 30 meters higher than Niagara Falls. There's a gondola from the bottom to the top, sets of stairs, and a suspension bridge. For the adventure seekers, in the warm seasons, there's a zip line that goes across the river, and in the winter, there's ice climbing. Well, that's it for me. Thank you so much for exploring Quebec City with me. I hope you had as much fun as I did. See you next time!